Welcome, 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 welcome back to our channel. How are you this morning? My name is Marvin Kane with Love Is Not Judgmental. I am your host, and I'm excited you're here because we really enjoy the engagement of these discussions that we're about to have. So, this morning, as we welcome you back to our YouTube Live, we're going to delve into, again, the fascinating world of relationships, particularly age gap relationships. Now, the title of the subject we'll be discussing, or I should say, this unique topic, is why women with no children date older men who have children. Now, to be more specific to the subject matter that we talk about, the question is why would younger women date older men with kids when the younger women themselves have no kids? We can even add another adjective to it. Why will extremely beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous women with no kids date older men who do not have kids? And you can define the older man any way you like. And it's a topic that really has sparked a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of curiosity around this subject also. So we're going to break it down into several segments. But don't forget, the first thing we would like you to do is don't forget to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss one of our daily discussions. Yes, we do this every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be here with us for a daily discussion about relationships. Also, you might want to tune in tomorrow where we'll be talking about why women, we could say younger women, older women, it doesn't even matter. Why women should never date married men. Why women should never date a married man. That's the subject that we'll be discussing tomorrow. Now, what is it that attracts these women who have no kids to older men who have kids? It's a great question. So it's not as simple as it seems. Some people go, oh, it's the glorious. Nope, it's not as simple as that. Some women are simply drawn to a man's maturity. See, sometimes women are attracted to men that are older because they know they have had some types of experiences in life and they want to tap into their experiences so that it can chance by chance make their lives better. While others will appreciate the stability, and it's true in such relationships, it's not really a black and white answer as to why younger women, very attractive women, will be drawn to older men. You would have to actually speak to each woman individual. And over the years, we have. So we're going to base this discussion on some of those answers because I was curious about that too. I'm like, man, this woman has four children and she's with this man on the opposite end who has no kids. Or this man has four children and this young, beautiful 29-year-old woman is dating this man who's 43 who has four kids. Like, what is it that makes people do these things? These are the questions that we're raising. So it has to deal with I'm sorry, the emotional connections. And let me do one thing that I forgot to do, and I apologize for this, is I'm gonna cut off this background noise if I can. I apologize for this because I've got my messages coming in. And we'll take care of these comments that you're putting in there in our next live. We'll definitely address these. But for now, I just want to keep talking on the subject. So let's bring these sounds down. All right, awesome, awesome. And I apologize again. I'm still dealing with my cold. So the thing is, what is it that's drawing these women? Well, it's got to be something. I mean, they're not crazy women, but those emotional connections, they're really strong. So an older man with kids, he tends to have a deeper understanding of family and the dynamics that go within a family, which can create stronger emotional bonds with the woman. who values connections. Excuse me. So she's looking for that. She's looking for the man that's gonna just, like, pass out because he's so in love with her. The man that's gonna treat her like the princess and the queen. So she sees this man who has children, even though the children may be older than she is, and they're gone and so forth. In some cases, the children, maybe a teenager is still around because he's got maybe a 15-year-old or 16-year-old. She'll still date him because in her mind, she may not even use these exact words. She sees that bond that he has with his children. Now, she's not trying to have a father uh, daughter bond with him. That's not the point that we're making. But it's the bond of love, it's the bond of the emotions that she is now attracted to. And then, like we mentioned earlier, his experience, learning from past experiences. An older man is a resource for life. Even an older woman dating a younger man, they are resources for life advantages. Because here, a woman without kids, she's going to be, or I should say, she may be attracted to older men with kids because they figure that the man has learned from his past relationships, and they only have heard of many of these horror stories. So this older man is more likely to be committed to her and be responsible for her than a younger man who might, in the process and a discussion or an argument, be like, "Well, you do it your way then," like, and just kind of walk out. Whereas an older man's already learned, those type of situations just don't work for the better. So he'll stick around, and she knows this. She knows it, and then she looks at her own family structure with her father. Her mother and father may be of the same age. They may be different ages. It just doesn't matter. But she sees that as her father got older, he just handled things a lot differently. So that gives perspectives on life a new flavor, a new feeling. So these relationships can provide a unique adventure. And older men with kids, they have a very different outlook. They're very protective. I mean, seriously protective. I mean, something happens to you when you have children. You could be a security guard, you could be a CIA, you could be a super spy, you could be whatever, have a child. You take that protective mindset to the next level. And it's not just physical protection, it's mental protection. It's protection from all sorts of dangers. Men develop this. And women paying attention to what's going on with men, even from a distance, they can they can see that. And so this becomes a very appealing property within the relationship. And it's quite stimulating for women to see this intellectual mindset of a man this way. And so they find it very refreshing. And at the same time, they say, look, you know what? He's got children, but they're in this relationship for him. Now, some women, and we should mention this, and I apologize for this. I'm going to really take a lot of cold medicine today. But some women have reasons that are a little more complicated as to why they will date an older man without children, and or I should say that why they would date an older man with children, and it's partly because they can't have children themselves, medically speaking, and so some women just don't want children. That's just not a part of their lives. Some women get into these relationships with older men where they have their careers already in place and they just want to continue on that road. They don't want to build a family, they want to build a career. And perhaps the two of them are working in the same career, especially a lot of people in media and television, acting, businesses like that, marketing, different companies, high end income earners. They tend to be attracted to people who are about the same or just a little bit above in those relationships, and they don't have time to be trying to figure out, who's gonna babysit my kids tonight. They only have time to figure out, uh, the advantages of the market, if it's going up, if it's going down, and how that's going to impact their business. So, yeah, there's a lot going on there. Okay, so as we move on, we think about what happens when you do have, let's say, a younger woman with children and you have an older man with children. Now you're going to have what we call a blended family. So blended families can be quite challenging. And by the way, many older men too, they don't want women with children. They don't. They're just not looking for. those type of problems because at this point in his life, most older men just want peace. They're looking for peace. They don't want to be dealing with baby daddies, her baby daddy. They don't want to be dealing with that. So they particularly are not interested in looking for women who have children because they've already raised their kids. They've already raised their I mean, I look at myself, I've got 4 children, biological, and a stepson. Well, I guess he's no longer a stepson because of divorce from his mother, but I particularly raised him. So there are 4 children in my life that have my blood and 1 other child. So I've done all this raising of children throughout the years. The last thing I want is to pick up the pieces in a relationship with a woman who already has kids. But if that connection, and this is the amazing part, between me and another woman is that strong, I'm gonna go with the woman and, we'll just continue together raising a kid. That's just the mindset I had if I was to go in that direction. Some men just don't think like that. They think, "You know what? I already did this." And then if it's cases where she has kids and now you have kids and you gotta blend these families together, that's an entirely different aspect, and we'll explore it maybe on another channel about blending families together. That would be a great topic of discussion. How women and children navigate themselves in becoming a part of a new family, and children on each side becoming a part of a new family. So there are potential rewards there, but they're definitely hurdles. So these are things that need to be considered. And it's nothing wrong with dating a woman who has children because she also has become something different. Just like we said, the man, when he has kids, he becomes different. He can already work in security, he becomes a greater protector. All right, guess what? A woman who has children becomes more caring. Oh, yes, it's just definitely, she becomes more nurturing. So if you're the type of man, you know how men, you know, we'll see somebody, they have a problem. Let's say they get a cold or they don't feel well. Like right now, I don't feel well. All the men are like, "Man, get over it." All the women are like, "Oh man, he's sick. He needs to like take care of himself better or something like that." Now, women who have children be like, "Oh man, let me send him a message." Like we just got, try some lemon and honey next time before you come on the radio. Uh, People do this all the time. Women are different after they have children, like men are different after they have children. So the benefits and the rewards there are huge, huge. But then in reality, we've got to address some of these stereotypes and misconceptions. And there are a lot of them. Um, those are subjects too that when it comes to relationships, people have all kind like, okay, some people feel like, oh, you can't spank my child. Well, you know what? We're dealing with older men. See, they're past this moment in life. And if those were to become the issues that needed to be considered, the man's not going there. He's not going there. See, he's already been a free flowing disciplinarian, whether it's spanking a child or talking firm to the child, whatever form of discipline he's done with his children. He's already done that. So if he's in a situation now where he's got younger children, he's just going to do what he's always done. If he was a spanker, he's going to spank. If he was a lecturer, he's going to be a lecturer. And if you don't like that, that's going to be a huge challenge. And then vice versa, because there are women that take the same authoritative kind of situation with their children. But the whole idea here is that you bring in this gentleman and this woman together. It's about building a strong relationship. Building a strong relationship under the circumstances like this, it requires communication. You cannot do this solo. You cannot do this with the thinking that's stuck in your own head. You have to do this with her. You have to talk to her and you got to show respect for her. So it means that the man is going to have a yielding conversation if she's got children. Now, if she does it, then it's the other way. If she's the younger woman who has no kids dating the older man with kids, and let's say there's a child in the home, she can't just wake up one day and all of a sudden decide, "Oh, I'm his mother." No, you're not. He has a mother, and vice versa. Those other children may have fathers. You have to yield to his respect and authority, and also to the child's mother. You gotta yield to that. That's just how you keep peace. That's what he would expect of you, to just go off and just like blow up and just be going nuts. That's just not going to make anybody happy. So communication understanding which becomes a gift in a relationship, but by all means, be patient. Definitely be patient. And these are things that we constantly talk about on our channel and the development of these relationships. So, in our wrap up, I think we touched on this really, really well. You want to just kind of be an observer if you're really thinking about, as a single woman with no children, thinking about dating an older man who has kids. Don't set yourself up for failure. Really pay attention to parents. Really pay attention to what they go through. And then you ask yourself honestly, am I really ready to deal with that? Because even if his children are grown, guess what? They're still his children. They're going to be calling. And you're going to play the role of mother to some extent in those relationships with children that are older than you. Why? Because your role with him is his wife. And as his wife, wives, his children, mentally, your children, even though they're older, it's just how the game is played. It's just how the mind works. It's just how life is. You just cannot deny reality. So we hope we have given you some great insights into this discussion about a younger woman dating an older man. Now, we've explored this intriguing world where there are children involved on the older man's side. And we've been specific in some details. We've given you a lot to think about. But just remember, relationships come in all shapes and sizes and understandings and different dynamics. And the key to any relationship is love, that connection. You got to have love. You've got to love the person enough that you are able to tolerate, to endure their challenges. But you gotta pay attention, you gotta know what you're getting into. So if you enjoyed today's discussion, and pardon me and, my little technical issues and me not feeling 100%, I'm just human. I'm just a regular guy. Please give it a thumbs up and share this information with a friend. Somebody you know needs to hear this. Please share it. And then don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you like, please leave a comment. Give us something to discuss on this matter, and we'll even shout your name out in our next podcast. So remember, tomorrow we're going to be diving in the flip side as to why women should never date married men. Why younger women, older women, whatever women, why you should never, 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 ever date a married man. Married through the courts, separated, still married, living in another country, he's still married. Why women should never date older men. I'll tell you the mindset of that man and why you should never date him. It's not a good mindset, and you shouldn't allow it. You should do better for yourself. So listen, we want to thank you again for being with us on our YouTube Live. We hope this has been exciting. Join us again tomorrow and every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we talk about relationships, and particularly the age gap relationships. And we'll see you real soon. Bye now.